Welcome to Silverstone. The sun is shining, the weather's looking good all day actually, and we are here with Ducati for the Ducati UK Track Day. And we're going to be riding primarily the Ducati Streetfighter V4 S, and that is just for the simple reason, A, I've not ridden it in a while, actually since it was announced and since it was released, and B, I've only ever ridden it on road, I've never ridden it on track, so we thought we'd come along here, enjoy the glorious Silverstone GP circuit and have a go on the Streetfighter V4 S. So if you follow me, we'll go on in. Session one is about to begin. Session one for me is going to be pure acclimatization. I haven't been here for years, and the last time I did like 2 laps because I was one of the MotoGP outriders that leads the MotoGP ride bikes around, and that was about it. And yeah, so session one is just going to be finding which way the track goes, trying to pick some braking points if I can. Session two though, that's going to be the important one because by then I should know where it's going. Let's go and show you what bikes we've got on offer first, because Ducati UK have basically brought everything but the kitchen sink. As we can see, Panigale V4. We have a rather lovely 848. But this is what we're here to ride. So, on offer for our delectation today, we've got the Streetfighter V4 S, which is over there, which I'm going to be primarily spending my time on. We've also got a Monster, we've got a Streetfighter V2, we've got a Panigale V4, we've got a Super Sport, which might be quite good fun around Silverstone, a little bit open and fast. We've got a Hyper Motard, which maybe at Cadwell, I think, but probably not here. We've got a couple more Panigale V4s, and we've got the Streetfighter that I'm riding, which is this one over here. And then at the end of the day, Tommy Bridewell personally promised me a go on his BSB bike. I wish. This is just here, I don't know if it's here for display purposes or if Tommy's coming along later to spin some laps. Be quite cool if he did, to sit down and have a chat with him. But yeah, that is a thing of beauty. This though is my bike for the day. So this is the Streetfighter V4 S. When I rode it on the road, I was kind of, I don't know, it kind of left me feeling a little bit flat, because to me on the road it just felt like a naked Panigale. It didn't feel like a super naked. Everything was happening at ridiculous speeds. It was only getting into its stride when you'd already lost your license. So yeah, we'll give it a go on the track. I mean, I've got no preconceptions, I'm just going into it blind, going to start off in sport mode for the first session and then ramp my way up until I'm in track mode and we lower the traction control and the wheelie control and everything else down.
Attention panic, this is a call for the green group. If you'd now like to make your way into the pit lane, we'll be ready to go green imminently. This is the call for the green group. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So yeah, we'll see what it brings. The weather gods are absolutely smiling on us. In my experience, Silverstone is either the hottest place in the world or the coldest place in the world. And today it seems to be a very nice mixture between those two things. So I'm going to get kitted out, head up session one, and I will speak to you after session two. So that was session two, which was going all right actually. I haven't been here for a few years, so I was learning which way the track went, and I've kind of got an idea of it. Just got to the point where I was getting my knee down, and then red flags. Came into Maggots and Beckett's, and there was about 4 bikes all upside down in a gravel track with a load of people looking confused. So fingers crossed everyone's all right. It looked to me like it might be a bit of a break, so I'm not going to wait down the end of pit lane. I'm going to grab some water, just chill out for a moment. But that was a lot of fun.
How was it?
Hard work around here. Streetfighter V4 is a bit of a monster, to be honest with you. So that's session 3, because session 2 unfortunately got red flagged and we missed it. But I did go out in between on a Panigale V4 just so I could make my memory of the track from the first session stick. Come out the door a bit. So yeah, much better. I think it's more just getting to know the circuit than getting to know the bike. I know what the bike's doing. It's just getting to know the circuit a little bit better. But we're still in sport mode. The next session I do, I'm going to go up into track mode and see what the difference is, which reduces the traction control, the wheelie control and the ABS and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, it's an impressive thing to ride on the track. Totally different to the Panigale. The Panigale likes a bit of corner speed and you have to sort of like thread the needle with it a little bit. This is a lot more sit up on the fat part of the tire and just open the throttle and let the electronics try and sort everything out, which they can do just about. Other than that, the only real limiting factor on these is the hoops. It's the Rosso Corsa 2's just, I don't know, on a track like this, with a bike like that, with these big fast sweeping corners, it really needs Super Corsa SPs, really, or something like that. Just something a little bit stickier on there, but it's a lot of fun. The back end of the bike through some of the faster corners, like Maggots and Beckett's, and over the back end of the circuit by the wing, it's just waggling all over the place. Loads and loads of fun. I need some water, and then we'll go out for session 4. So, welcome back. We have just completed session 4 on track, which is the one after lunch, which is usually a bit shit and a bit lethargic and a little bit slow because you are full of rice and chili con carne and all sorts of stuff. But actually I felt alright. I'm going to go and talk about the bike and about the modes very quickly. So that final session, session 4, I went out in race mode, as you can see there, and as I flicked it into race mode and trundled off up pit lane, I didn't really notice any difference. When I was out on track, I was noticing that the bike wasn't really feeling any different to how it had felt earlier on in the previous session. So it was sort of sliding the same. I wasn't getting any more wheelie than I was. The traction control setting all seemed the same, and it all seemed very samey. It turns out that the person who'd ridden it a little bit before me had basically gone into the race mode and turned it into a road mode. So they'd increased traction control, increased the wheelie control, and done all sorts of other weird things. So effectively they'd got race mode called race mode, but it was a road mode. So that session was a lot of fun. I'm getting faster because I'm learning the track, but I didn't really learn anything about the difference between the sport mode and the race mode. So we've got 2 more sessions to go. So we've got session 5 and session 6 as well. So the next session I've got Jinx, the Ducati UK technical guy, to reset the settings on this so it's back to factory track mode. We'll go out in session 5 and we will see how it goes. So you stay tuned and I'll be back with you very soon. So there we have it, session 5 is done and dusted, and we bumped it into race mode for that final session, as I said I was going to, and I even dialed the traction control down 1 setting, so it was traction control setting 2 or 1, might have been 1 actually, just to see what it was like. My overriding, and bear in mind folks, this is a track only review, so if you want to find out all of the specs and all of the road stuff about this bike and how much it is and everything else about it, there is already a video up on Visordown YouTube channel, and we'll drop a link to that in the description below. This is purely a track review, so that's why I really wanted to take it up into track mode. The one limiting factor with it, and I've always said it with these high-powered performance bikes that have these Diablo Rosso tyres fitted to them, is that the tyres are the limiting factor. I know why Pirelli do it. They're doing it with this because it is a road bike, and they have these fitted to Trackday bikes anyway because they give extra longevity over something like a Super Corsa SP, which you would ruin in half a day if you were any good. So I totally get why they're doing it, but it is the sliding from the back under the brakes when you're slowing down into the corners, when you're getting on the power out of corners, it is all just the tyre is crying enough basically. It's a lot of fun. The bike throws some crazy shapes, which is really, really good fun, but ultimately it does give you that feeling that you just want to back off a little bit and you just want it to be a little bit more sure-footed. So the other thing that I've noticed about the Streetfighter from riding it on track is how small movements of your body as you're setting yourself up into a corner can sort of throw the bike into a little bit of a tizzy. So you're coming into a corner and you just decide that you just want to move your bum over a little bit more. If you're not really careful with how you do that, you will start to unsettle the bike. And it is kind of a combination of the probably the slightly softer suspension settings that this has got compared to the Panigale, and those massively wide bars. The bars are so wide, you've got so much leverage on them when you're going into the corners that any small movement of your upper body translates to a big movement of the front end of the bike. So you just have to keep on top of that and set yourself up before you actually start leaning into the corner. Obviously really important, but any kind of minor adjustments once you're in it you can't do, which I always found that I could on the Panigale. Other than that, this thing has been a hoot. It totally makes sense on the track. It's weird because I still think it's kind of frustratingly fast on the road, because at the point that this bike starts to get fun on the road, you've already lost your license and you're not even out of first gear. A little bit like the Honda Fireblade in a lot of ways. But here on the track with those bars, especially at Silverstone, you've got so much room, there's so many lines that you can take through corners. And yeah, it's been an absolute hoot. Again, weirdly that there's a street bike here that I'm going, it's bloody so much fun on the track, and I didn't enjoy it as much on the road. Maybe I just need to get out on it again. I think it's been probably a year and a half since we rode this when they launched it, so maybe I need to have a little revisit to the Streetfighter V4 S. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that video. We will be putting a full written editorial review up on Visordown.com, and if you've enjoyed it, please do let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of our latest videos. And for all the latest news, reviews and motorcycle features, get yourself over to Visordown.com. Thanks folks.